All right, guys, welcome back. This is the last night of the NBA Divisions preview. I am your host, Amber Vickers. I'm riding solo today. Unless Andrew can come on, I got Nick and I got Caleb with me. I'm going to let them introduce themselves and plug all their social medias in.
As y'all know, this is Nick Andre here, basketball writer of everything from high school on to the pros. Follow me on Twitter at underscore Nick Dormans, as you see on the screen there. I'm a host of Other End podcast and one host of Creating Madness podcast. So yeah, just check me out on everything, man. I'm all over the internet. So yeah, just check me out.
Tap in. That's what's up. My boy Nick. I'm Caleb Connor. You can catch me on Twitter at Caleb Connor2, right below down there. Catch me on Instagram at Caleb Connor1. You can catch me on MCS Real Sports Podcast. That's the sports podcast side of things. We got Jules and Jim's podcast. That's a podcast with me and my dad. And catch me on here on Unwrapped. I'm everywhere. Tap in. Let's go.
All right, and we just got CJ in. CJ, you got here right when the introductions hit. Go ahead and introduce yourself, CJ.
How you doing, guys? CJ James, host of the Guard Up podcast. Third episode in, so I'm glad to be here.
All right, guys, let's pay some bills. All right, check out our shop, teespring.com/store/unwrapped. Get you some Unwrapped Sports Network gear. We just came out with the Friends model. If you watch the TV show Friends, we just came out with the Friends model of the gear. I'm going to get me some stuff when I get paid again. My bank account does not like me, but oh well, we support the movement. So go check that out, guys. Also, you like to gamble. Alex and Corey did Bets Unwrapped last night. MyBookie.ag. Use the code USN100 to double your first deposit. And then also, sore achy muscles. It's getting cold. It snowed 6 inches overnight in Oklahoma. So, yeah, my muscles did not like that too well. RxHemp.com. Use the code RxHemp/USN and get 10% off of your order. All right, guys, we're going to dive into it. We are going to dive into it. This is the Southeast. In the East, in the Southwest, and the West divisions, the last two divisions of this preview. Like I said before, me and Andrew have talked about this. We're going to do our podcast, Count the Bucket. We're going to premiere that next week, I believe. And then once the season gets going, we're going to start having guests from the Unwrapped Sports Network, of course, so you guys can check that out. All right, the Southeast Division. I'm going to name the teams down, and we're just going to talk about the division. We were doing it team by team, but it was taking us a long time. We were on here all night long. So we're not going to be on here all night long tonight. We're going to run down the Southeast Division, then run down the Southwest, and we're going to wrap it up. So I'm going to give you guys the teams in the Southeast Division. We got the Atlanta Hawks, the Charlotte Hornets, the Miami Heat, the Orlando Magic, and the Washington Wizards. I got a question for you guys. I got one question. Can you guys hear the noise? Yeah, I can hear the noise a little bit. Let's see. Can y'all hear the noise?
Yeah.
I'm good, to be honest.
You good? Caleb, you good?
I mean, it's solid. Yeah. I'm good. I can hear it, but it's solid.
Okay. It might just be static. I don't know. Is it bad or?
No, it's not that bad. I mean, so
I'm outside.
Okay. Let's see. All right, we'll just deal with that. It's not too bad. Everybody can hear everybody, so that's good. I have one question. Who will win this division? I got the Hawks, Hornets, Heat, Magic, and Wizards. Who would win this division? Who won't make the playoffs in this division? Give me the best player on each team in this division, and give me a player that would the best rookie in this division. I'll repeat the questions again, of course, if you forget them.
I got Atlanta winning the division. Go ahead. That's you, Nick. That's you.
You got Atlanta winning it?
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. You still got the Beach out there, man. They just came out from a finals bound team that that's really looking to grow. I mean, there's a few guys out there, and I mean, to be honest with you, man, I mean they're only looking to grow. I only see Tyler Hero, Dougie Robinson, Bam Adebayo, and the rest of these guys continue to grow and continue to experience just being more exposure to the NBA, and also other who who has shown to be a pretty good leader with his team and will continue to be a good one going forward. So yeah, I think the Miami team is just kind of been good for a long time. I don't see him making a finals this year again, but I think in like the next 3 or 4 years they could probably make it again if everything goes right. But I'm gonna say, just looking at this division, I think it's a little more competitive now than it probably has been in recent years. To be honest, I'm gonna be with you. I don't think I've heard this guy to watch the Charlotte Hornets. Just being honest, just watching last night and what LaMelo Ball did, you know, in his first game, in his preseason game, he didn't score, but he was still picking up the floor, just got the ball, dropping dimes. I mean, it was just like a fun, exciting thing to watch. And as far as other people I have making the playoffs, I think Atlanta. I want Atlanta to succeed. I think with Trey Emergent, with John Collins, Kevin Herter, and all these other young guys, I think that they can make it happen. They got better presence at Bogdanovich, got Rondo off season, and I think Capella being that enforcer under the basket. I just feel like Atlanta's in a good position to continue to grow forward, but also make the most within the next few years.
For sure. I think, I did forget about the Heat. I got a little bit fat. I got, caught up in my shoes with Atlanta. The Heat's definitely I'm going to give them the division, but honestly, I think Atlanta's the team that catches everybody by surprise. Again, Washington's another team in the division that's going to make some noise. I didn't get to catch too much of Charlotte, but they have some good guards down there that I'm excited for. So I know that Charlotte's going to be the team that's going to be good and not make the playoffs. They're my team that's going to be good and not make the playoffs. Magic, they're a solid team every year. The best rookie in the division is, I want to say by far, LaMelo Ball. I think he's going to bring a lot of eyes to the division as a whole. I mean, with the schedule being how it is this year, I think it's going to be like you play the same team back to back, right? Is it going to be like that for every game? I'm not too sure, but
it's kind of like a baseball schedule. Like they're gonna go up against teams like that's in their region. It might be like some back to backs, like a little mini series.
Exactly. I was talking to my dad about that today. So yeah, I mean, I think LaMelo Ball is gonna be the guy that brings the eyes to the whole division. Amber, I did forget a couple questions. Throw them back at me though.
It's okay. We'll come back to him, Caleb. Don't worry about it.
Okay. That's you, CJ.
Yeah, I'm gonna still have to go with Miami. Obviously, representing the East last year. They got a little bit better. I mean, but I'm sure we'll go more in depth as we break down the team in a little bit. But like you guys said, Atlanta, you can't sleep on them. They definitely retune their roster. You got to give credit to their front office. They see that. Obviously, the East is always going to be competitive. I feel like it's wide open. I mean, I don't feel like there's a clear-cut team that's going to come out the East. So, I mean, they added some really nice guys around Trae Young now. I think they were tired of just, winning 20 games every single year. And Trae Young just putting up a whole bunch of points and assists. Now it's time to win. Now it's time to have some winning basketball. They know they have their guys. So, Orlando, they're going to be right there. I think losing Isaac in the bubble really hurt them. Another wing guy, that's definitely gonna hurt them. But getting a guy like Cole Anthony was a solid pickup. Could be their point guard for the future if they decide to let go of Fultz. And then Charlotte's gonna be the most exciting. LaMelo was, he didn't score, but just the highlight plays, the flashy passes. He's gonna be exciting to watch. And I like Washington too. I mean, they came back against the Nets today in the preseason game. Denny Adva from Israel, the 9th pick. He looked really solid. He was 6 for 6 from the field. So I think he could be a solid wing for them. So I like this division a lot. Definitely more competitive than like you said, Amber, in years past. So Miami, they have some work to do if they want to come out and definitely they need 72 games and definitely get a nice spot in the Eastern Conference top seeding.
You know what? This division. I wanted Atlanta. I had Atlanta last year. I was like, okay, Atlanta's gonna get that 8th seed. Like, I believe in Atlanta. And then Collins gets suspended. And I'm like, and they kind of tailed off. didn't play well, but today they played very well. They had like seven players in double figures, 7 or 8 in double figures today. I know it's preseason. I know I could be reading too much into it, but I like what I see from Atlanta. I really do. I like what I see from Atlanta. I really like Lloyd Pierce. I really, 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 really do. Their culture in Atlanta is changing. You can tell when they drafted Trae Young, they wanted to change their culture. And I think that's why Dallas and Atlanta swap picks. I really do. I think they wanted to change their culture there in Atlanta. We got Jerome. Hey, Jerome.
Hey guys, sorry I'm late. I'll do the family thing. I have to I have to do some family stuff.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. We're talking about the Southeast Division. I'm talking about Atlanta right now.
Hey, Cam Reddish talk.
I think that them drafting Trae Young changed the culture of that whole just environment. You can just tell. You could just tell the change of culture there in Atlanta. You knew it would take a couple of years, but I think they're going to get it going. I'll let Jerome go. Jerome, we talk about the Southeast Division. We got Atlanta, we got the Hornets, we got Miami, we got Orlando, we got Washington. I'm going to pose a couple of questions to you. Best team in the division? Who's going to be the surprise team in the division? Who's the best player in that division? And also, who's the best draft pick in that division?
In the Southeast?
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm pulling up. I can see the whole list of teams. So out of Atlanta, Charlotte, Orlando, Miami still has to be the best team because they went the furthest.
Yeah.
Who else? I like Charlotte. I like how they got from LaMelo. I want to see how Gordon Hayward performs. This is like his you can call it second chance. He didn't really have a real second chance in Boston after he got hurt in the first game. So we'll see how he looks being the kind of alpha male on the team, and he's gonna be the young vet because he's probably one of the oldest faces on the team. So it's gonna be pretty much his team and his personality to take over that Charlotte team. Washington is gonna be Washington too, right?
Yes.
Washington, obviously, they got Westbrook and Beal averaging 30. Beal has to be an All-Star this year. He has to be All-NBA. They have to give him some credit because he has that team looking somewhat respectable where Westbrook, there was no chatter about like even how last year with Chris Paul, and he was like, I don't want to go to OKC, but he kind of just hushed all the noise, went there, played Suck It Up. So having Beal there and having Westbrook buy in immediately, that's going to be an interesting team with the draft pick. They were playing earlier today. I was watching a little bit before I had to start driving, and they looked good. They were competitive today, so you got to give them some credit over there too. And then what else? We have Atlanta, which I like. Atlanta's going to surprise some teams because they have a complete roster. When you look at it from top to bottom, with the vets they have, they got Gallo willingly able to come off the bench and not arguing, nothing like that. You have Rondo, who's I would say is probably one of the best guys to ever play the game. If you want to put him up there or not, that's up to you. But from a mindset point, he's one of the best point guards in the league ever. So to have that as a backup for Trae Young to kind of learn, that's just, nothing but positive. They have Cam Reddish, who I'm really high on Cam Reddish. I know last year he came out a little slow, but he starts to, come on. And he's 6'7", has size, can shoot, can play defense. So I think he's like a really good prototypical small forward or wing. You can't even call it small forward, just a straight wing that's coming up in the league right now. So hopefully they kind of focus on his development. Capella's healthy right now for the first time in all year. He didn't play for Atlanta last year. John Collins is another young budding star who, you're looking to take the next step with the Bams and the other bigs in the East. You can shoot, you can play make, can play defense, plays above the rim. So, if they take the steps, Atlanta could surprise some teams, like how Perry said last time, how he has them finishing 4 or 5. That might be a little bit of wishful thinking, but if they can put it all together and, have one of those seasons, they can stick up on you.
Yeah, like I told them before you got on, I had Atlanta getting an A spot last year, and then Collins got suspended. I was like, okay, Atlanta, this is your year. I had them winning about 45 games, 45, 46 games last year, which is kind of high, but I was high on Atlanta. It was Trae Young's next year. I was like, okay, he's going to take that next step. I was excited for Trae Young. I know I'm biased towards Trae Young, but it's okay. A lot of people were excited for Trae Young. I like the change in the culture there in Atlanta. In Charlotte, that's going to be interesting to see how Ball, Rozier, and Graham all play together. I'm really interested to see that trio play together there in Charlotte. You know what Gordon Hayward's going to give you? He's the vet on the team. You know, he's pretty much the vet on the team. They got some young pieces there in Charlotte, but I want to see if LaMelo will ever get aggressive on offense. If he will ever get aggressive scoring the basketball, that's what I really want to see. I want to see if they can also push for that eighth or ninth spot, that play-in game. I guess they call it a play-in game now. They have a play-in game. I want to see if they can push for that in the East. Miami is going to be a team that people are not going to exactly write off, but kind of write off. You know, you lose Derrick Jones Jr., you lose Jay Crowder, but you got Duncan Robinson, another year older, another year wiser. You got Tyler Hero, another year older, another year wiser. Jimmy Butler coming off a great performance, re-signed Goran. I like Miami. Andre Iguodala gets a full season in Miami. You know, he's getting older. I like Miami. You still got Spo. Bam is going to take another step up. I have Bam. He probably will finish top 3 in Defensive Player of the Year next year. I'm going to call it right now. It's the way that he plays defense. So I trust Eric Spoelstra. I trust him. He is probably, it's hard to say, he's the only coach in this division that I trust. Well, I kind of trust Scott Brooks because he used to be coach at OKC, and I know what he can do. But we'll get to that. The Orlando Magic, they're that team that you want to be great, and you want Aaron Gordon to take that next step. They just don't want to be great for some reason. You know, I am really high on Isaac. He keeps getting hurt. He's so fragile. He needs to put some weight on. He needs to learn how to jump, how to land. He needs to learn how to coordinate his body with his athleticism. I know Russell Westbrook talked about that, and Derrick Rose talked about how they learn how to coordinate their body with their athleticism. That way they won't get so injured. Because Derrick Rose said that's how he tore his ACL. He didn't know how to land and coordinate your body with your athleticism. Once he learns how to do that, I think he's going to be very, very good piece there in Orlando. I'm trying to see about Fultz. Fultz showed me something. I like Fultz. I like him coming out. I liked him coming out. It just didn't work out in Philly. In Philly, it was just kind of like they kind of forgot about him a little bit.
I mean, they fucked up his shoulder. They fucked up his shoulder.
Because he hit a 3 the other night. And
yeah, he did. He looked
good. It went in, but I was like, whoa.
It's not the same, though. His whole get-up was different in Washington and high school.
All just slowly coming together. We just need a little more patience. A little more.
But he's number 1 overall pick. Hey, you know, number 1 overall picks don't get the benefit.
I get that, but you look at the circumstances, man. I mean, that shoulder injury was very, very serious.
Yeah,
so
it was.
I think last year he did play pretty well in Orlando. Obviously we expect more out of him. But I just think that with the culture that they have now, that team is really just starting to come together. I mean, they made the playoffs the last 2 years, and they're looking to make more noise in the conference again. So I think both will slowly come together, but I just think that it's going to take a little more patience. Maybe never become like an all-star caliber player, but become a solid point guard for a team.
So he won't be a Kwame Brown and be a bust?
No. Hope not.
Okay, I'll give you that. Now let me talk about the Wizards. I think the Wizards are going to be the surprise team in this division. I'm going to tell you why. Because Russell Westbrook, you can say what you want to say about him. He's a winner. He wins. And it just didn't work out. It just didn't. And you can't fault him for the Houston thing. He got COVID, had quad injury, going into the bubble, and they just didn't look the same. Him and Harden playing together, he's not a spot-up shooter. You trade away Clint Capella to Atlanta, and then you open up the lane. He averaged 27 after you opened up the lane for them. But I love the Wizards, and I don't know why I do. I like Rui. I like Thomas Bryant. Thomas Bryant played pretty well today. Rui played pretty well today, too.
He's good. Thomas Bryant's good.
Thomas Bryant is great. Second round pick to the Lakers. We let him walk for fucking nothing. But go ahead.
I'm sorry. Then you got Bertans, one of the best shooters in the NBA, long guy. And then you have Russell and Beal. That's solid.
And you got the rookie. The rookie's good, too.
That's solid.
Denny,
yeah. Denny played good today, too. Denny played real good today.
Denny's gonna be like a nice playmaker in that second unit. Y'all watch out for that.
I gotta
What
give him more of my eye. I didn't give him my eye. I gotta be honest. I gotta give him more of my eye.
what
Yeah,
part
no,
did you ask?
he played solid tonight.
He did. He did.
Is he
And
getting the ball? Is he playmaking, or is he more of like a catch and shoot up guy in the system?
Well, from what I saw, I believe that bit I saw, he was shooting. He was kind of like a spotted shooter. But I feel like for us, for me being State fan, I know we're thinking about trading down for him. If we can find a package that works. And seeing how, I guess, I don't know if that's how he, like, that's his game or like that's just the way the game went today. But I'm like, him on the corner, the Steph kicking the ball, so it would have been, a knockdown shooter. So it'll be nice. It'll be nice pulling the three for Westbrook. I'm sure as the season goes on, he'll be more involved, like you said, in the second unit. But
Yeah.
he can shoot the ball, that's for sure.
Yeah, he
Yeah, they
can.
need
Yeah, he
that.
can shoot. Yeah, that's one thing I saw from him. He was shooting the ball, and he was not shy about shooting the ball.
And it's swishes. It's not like it's swish. Like it's swishing.
Green light. Green light.
Yeah.
I like Washington. I'm going to tell you now, Washington is going to make the playoffs. I just don't see Russell Westbrook not making the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
Him and Bill, I don't see them not making the playoffs. Like, it's hard for me to say a team with Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal, which I think he will get an All-Star, not this year, not making the playoffs. It's tough for me to say that. It's tough for me to
No,
say
If
that.
they don't make the playoffs, they gotta break it up like next year. Like
I'll say this is the first time that I'm actually interested in the bottom seeding of the East. I don't look past the fifth seed for the most part of the East. This is the first time I'm looking at the bottom East. Like, okay, if teams can step up, that bottom is like, you got Atlanta, Charlotte. So teams gonna drop to Washington. The bottom is kind of looking,
Yeah,
I
there could
mean,
be
I
some
think-
upsets for sure.
yeah. I think there's gonna be a team that's usually in the top 4 or 5. My bad, I didn't mean to cut you out, Jerome. I think there's gonna be a team that's in the top 4 or 5 that falls to like 7 or 8, just
exactly.
due to COVID.
Yeah.
Which teams in particular?
I think Miami, bro. Fuck it, I'm right with them.
Yeah, no, it's true though. If a team catches COVID at the wrong time, that can be from, you know what I mean? That can really mess with the standings.
Why aren't people high on Miami this year? That's
They
a good
just-
question. Why don't people like Miami this year? They lost Crowder and they lost Derrick Jones Jr., right?
I don't get it.
I think for one, I think they're getting older. Like Goran Dragic had the year of his career last year. I don't know if he's gonna do the same thing again. He's gonna have to figure it out. Hero's gonna have to figure it out. I don't know. I'm not saying I'm asleep. I just don't think they're gonna be all that. I don't know.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question. In the East, we're gonna generalize this question. How many more coaches are better than Eric Spoelstra in the East?
None.
Yeah, I can agree with that. There's some good coaches. I say Nurse, even is all shake. They're right there. But there's really nobody else that I can, off the top of my head.
Mhm.
I don't want to give Scott Brooks some love, but and no one say Coach Bud, because Coach Bud is not a good coach. So
I'm asking you that question. Yeah, I'm asking you that question because when it comes down to the playoffs, it's about coaching and adjustments. And Eric Spoelstra made adjustments against the Lakers. They did get 2 games.
yeah.
I know they did get 2 games against LA when people thought they were going to get swept. I called LA in 6. I wanted it to go 7 just because I'm a basketball fan, but I called LA in 6. They got 2 games off of LA. They beat the brakes off Milwaukee. They beat the brakes off the Pacers. So
Pacers ain't it either though. Pacers ain't it.
I know, but a lot of people had that series going with 5 or 6. I was like, no. Milwaukee, I caught the upset, whatever, because I just don't trust Milwaukee in the playoffs. I don't think Bud is the coach for Milwaukee. I don't think Giannis is staying in Milwaukee, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think he's gone. But when you look at everything that's transpired, who's the one coach that's steady in that division, in the whole conference, besides Brad Stevens and Nick Nurse?
Mm.
But one coach that you can say that has championship experience is Eric Spoelstra.
No, you're
Knows how
right.
to win with superstars. It's Eric Spoelstra.
And he
Knows
has
how to
longevity.
guys. It's Eric Spoelstra. So when I look at Miami, yes, I look at the team, but I also look at the head coach and the organization and the player development and Pat Riley. And that's what I put my trust in.
I mean, but
Yeah,
then if you go to San Antonio, you got Greg Popovich, and it's just not. It's
They
not
don't have
working
the
out.
talent.
They
They
don't
don't
have
have
the
the
talent.
talent over there yet.
You
That's
gave
a
Pop
lot of
that
young
team in
guys.
Miami. Oh my goodness.
What'd you say?
I said, you gave Pop that team in Miami? Come
Yeah.
on now.
You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right.
Come on now. You already know. But yeah, the Spurs are they're like in the middle of like a weird transition to me because you got two older stars and DeMar DeRozan and LaMarcus Aldridge. Then you got those young guys around them. But you know, LaMarcus is still your leading scorer. You see what I'm saying? And it's kind of like a weird transition there in San Antonio. And I think Pop's on his way out as well. So it's like a weird transition.
yeah.
You know. So the rookie in this division, besides LaMelo Ball, because we all agree LaMelo is LaMelo. I just want to see him more aggressive on offense and play better defense. What other rookie in this division are you looking at?
Mm. Cole Anthony.
Oh, he broke somebody's ankle
Cole.
today. Yeah.
Yeah. I hope he works out. I don't know him too well, but I just Instagram you can see the whole world now. So I'll see his highlights from high school, and I'm like, hey, he looks good. And then seeing him in college a little bit before the season went off, that went. But I'm like, he looks like a talented player. So I'm excited for him. Maybe the point guard and Orlando needs that point guard. They have like a weird roster, like just a weird build of a team. Like they're just not good, but they're just not that bad. And they just have they just have a weird system, but like pretty much to have some youth at the point guard, which I think is like the most important position to like uplift the whole team. I think that's I'm looking out for Cole Anthony, but like midway he should be starting. Speed that team up, let the team run and have some fun, and but Cole Anthony, I'm looking at.
I'm gonna go with Onyeka Okongwu. I think I want to see how Rondo uses him and Trae Young. I think he's gonna get a lot of buckets around the rim. Rondo is gonna create for him all the time. Trae is gonna create for him. I'm excited to see how he plays and how he fits in with the Hawks team because Clint Capella. I think he's on an expiring contract soon, so I think Onyeka is gonna be the guy that's gonna be that middle piece to step up and be that guy for them. So I'm looking out for him.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, all those guys. Definitely, we talked about Denny as well. I think it may take some time before we really see how great he can be. It's because of Wall and not Wall, Westbrook and Beal. So, but he's a really good playmaker. I agree with Jerome. He's probably going to really step up in that second unit and really play well. Of course, LaMelo is going to be flashy. He doesn't really need to score. They got a lot of guys that could score in Charlotte already with Devontae Graham and Rozier. Miles Bridges looks really promising as well, looking like he could have a potential most improved player of the year season. So, if he could just be a floor general, get those guys going, start the break. He's great rebounding the ball, starting the break. That's all he needs to do right now. And then, in time, I think the shot will come along.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with Jerome here. If it's not LaMelo Ball, then it's easily Cole Anthony. And in all honesty, I've been arguing with people because I've been saying Cole Anthony's going to be an effective player for the future to come, but everybody just kind of want to downplay him like he just can't play the game of basketball. I mean, he's an elite scorer. He can pass the ball. Maybe he can become a better defender, but that just comes with more experience. And I mean, if you look at the situation, if Markelle Fultz doesn't work out in Orlando, even though I think that he will become a better player in due time, but just looking at it, if he does not work out in Orlando, then I mean, there's a point guard that you have that you can build with the future around. I mean, obviously you have Vucevic out there, you got Aaron Gordon, you got a few other cats out there who can play. Why not fit Cole Anthony alongside him in the starting lineup if Fultz does not work out?
Yeah, I think it could work especially if Fournier leaves. And then those two guys could be the backcourt. And then you got Isaac and Gordon as the wings, and Vucevic. That's a solid five going forward.
Somebody we didn't mention, a rookie, Precious Achiuwa in Miami.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be neat to watch with him and Bam on defense. I mean, they're gonna erase. I mean, that back on defense in Miami is gonna be great to watch. You got Jimmy locking up on the wing, none defensive point guard. You got Andre Iguodala. He can still play defense. As old as he is, Andre can still play some defense. You know what I mean? He hits shots when he needs to hit shots. But I like Precious a lot, and they've already talked about his work ethic and what he brings to the table and things like that. So I like him. I like him. Besides all the other rookies, I was very high on Okongwu coming out of USC. Very high. I always call him the star they forgot at Chino Hills, because they were always focused on the Ball brothers, and they forgot about how good Okongwu was. And then the Ball brothers left, and it was just him holding it down there at Chino Hills. And him and LaMelo have a really good relationship. They play on opposite teams, same division. So we get to see them against each other. I like Okongwu. I was high on him at USC. His draft stock shot through the roof, there at USC. I previewed him on Sportscaster and talked about his game. I remember watching his highlights on YouTube like 2-3 years ago. And I was like, wow, he played with the Ball brothers? I had no clue. And I was like, then I started watching Pac-12 games, staying up late. And I was like, oh, man, he's going to be good. He's going to be really, really good. He already has the NBA body. Sheesh, what are they feeding these kids these days? He already has that NBA body, and if Clint Capella, I don't know how long Clint Capella is going to be there, but there's a reason why they drafted Okongwu. There is a reason why they drafted him. So I'm eager to see him. But Precious, I want to see Precious in Miami. Him and Bam in that backcourt. I really want to see that. I think that's going to be very interesting. All right. Out of all these teams in the division, rank them 1 through 5. Rank all these teams 1 through 5.
I'll go Miami 1. I'll go Washington 2. I'll go Orlando 3 just because they've made the playoffs over the past few years. Then I'll go Atlanta 4. Then I'll go Charlotte 5.
Yeah, I would just put Atlanta 3. I just think right now they have more depth. They're a little bit better. But you're right though. Yeah, I would. That's the only thing I'll change. Hornets is still really young. I think in a few years, if they keep Bridges, Ball, they're gonna be really good.
Yeah, you want to go, Caleb?
Go ahead. That's you, bro.
All right, so yeah, I got Miami 1, Washington 2. Atlanta is gonna be a close 3. Got 2 and 3 might switch, but either or. So Washington 2, Atlanta 3. I have Orlando 4, and then Charlotte 5. Charlotte, I feel like you said, same thing, CJ. Like they have a lot. They have a long way to go. They're probably the youngest team. Orlando, I would have put them in the bottom. It depends how the season goes. Like if they start unloading players and start, going towards that enhanced rebuild, then you flop that 5 seed. But them and Charlotte's the youngest, so I'll put them there. But really, it's Miami, Washington, and Atlanta is the teams that are going to be, we're going to be speaking about later on in the season.
Okay, I got Miami 1. Yes, I will go Washington 2. I go Atlanta 3 because I gotta have Washington 2 because I trust Russ and I trust Bradley Beal. I just trust that. I'll go Atlanta 3. Now I wouldn't be shocked if 2 and 3 are flipped, but Miami's 1 for sure. 4, I'll go Orlando, and then 5, I'll go Charlotte. And the only reason why I'm not big on Charlotte just yet is because they're just so young. They're just so young, and I'm eager to see if I want to see that 3-headed monster in that backcourt with Graham and Rozier, and also with LaMelo Ball. So that's going to be very interesting to see. They did it in OKC with Chris Paul, Schroeder, and SGA, and it worked. But
and you still got Monk. You got Malik over there too.
See, this is the thing. He gets lost in the shuffle when you talk about those guards. You know what I mean? Like he gets lost in the shuffle. I want to see him develop more. But can he develop in Charlotte?
I think he's better than Terry. I think obviously Terry's a really good player, but I think I think if you let Malik kind of run and just if he's focused, if he can just stay focused and you know what I mean, like put the work in, I think he can be more effective than Rozier. I think Rozier is more of a ball stopper,
Okay.
and I think Malik can see the court a bit more. Obviously, when Rozier's locked in fully, he's a really good player too. Don't get me wrong, but I kind of want to see Malik get there. I wouldn't be surprised if you see Terry get traded somewhere. I think some contender again is going to come calling, and I think you are going to see a three-headed snake at the guard position. I think that's going to become a popular thing, but I wouldn't be surprised if as long as Malik, as long as he can stay on the court, you might hear him later on.
Yeah, we forget about Malik Monk. You forget about him. Like you talk about Charlotte and you forget about Malik Monk. And I like Malik Monk. I really do. I'm just trying to see if he can develop in Charlotte.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really want
That's because Graham got better.
Yeah,
So,
Graham.
like,
He shot out of a cannon. You know, he Big 12 guy. You know, I like Big 12 guys. And he shot out of a cannon last year. He was scoring all those points. I was like, okay, you know how people score a lot of points in the beginning of the year and it kind of fizzles out, or they get hot, like Kobe White got hot and then he just got hot and he stayed hot. I was like, okay, Devontae Graham, he's gonna calm down a little bit. He didn't calm down. He just kept scoring. You know what I mean? And it was crazy. He wasn't top 3 most improved, but hey, you know, that's neither.
I think he should have been though. I
Oh
honestly
yeah.
think he should have been.
Luka Doncic even said
I
it. Like,
understand
take me
how-
out and put Devontae Graham in.
See, I mean, he's a killer. He's a killer. And,
Yeah.
and to do my top 5 with the division, I'm gonna go with Miami. I'm gonna
Okay.
put Atlanta at number 2. I just think they got it. They're deep this year. I'm gonna put Atlanta at number 2. I'm gonna put the Wizards at number 3. I'm gonna go ahead and let the Hornets rock at number 4, just because I think Melo is really gonna do his thizzle there. They're not gonna make the playoffs, but I'm gonna let them rock at number 4. And Magic, I'm just not sold. They're stuck in the middle. They're just stuck in the middle. So I'm not sold. I'm gonna go with them last.
The thing about Orlando, people don't see them getting better or getting worse. It's just kind of like they're just stuck in one position. You know what I
They're
mean?
stuck.
It's just like
The players aren't getting like the development is just like pause.
it is. It is. And like I told you, I want Orlando to be good. Like I want Aaron Gordon to be good. He was in trade talks this offseason, but you know him as a dunker, and he's trying to get off that. I think he's trying to get off that brand and show people like I'm more than just a dunker. Like I can score in all 3 phases of the NBA.
When he gets the opportunity.
Yeah.
You gotta go somewhere. You gotta go somewhere to get that opportunity, because we ain't watching it. The only time you see him is when he's on Sports Center for the dunks. To be honest.
Yeah. I think that's what he wants to get off of that. I think he wants to show people that I am an all-around NBA player and I'm not just a dunker. So can he develop in Orlando? I mean, development it means a lot in the NBA, and people don't realize how much developing players is important in the NBA. Yes, you have to put the work in, but you got to have the people around you that are willing to help you put the work in too. You know what I mean? It's a two-way street.
No, he's improved his game. Like he came out of Arizona. He was just they
a
compared him
dunker.
to Blake. Like
Yeah.
he could create his own shot now. Like
He's not
it's
bad.
it's just now
Yeah.
since he got drafted so high, now it's like are you that great to carry a team and elevate them? So that's why we don't see. I mean, even though they go to the playoffs, but they get swept, or because he gets hurt
Mhm.
because either injuries or he's just maybe not to that level yet. So I think that's why they're continuing to stay in the lottery and be one of those like tweener teams where they look good in some moments where they can make the playoffs, but the East is getting better every single year, as you guys know. So if one or two of those guys don't step up and elevate their game, they could be in the lottery again.
You know what? Like a good comparison if you think about it. Let me know if you guys see what I'm saying with this. Aaron Gordon is what Zach LaVine is. I thought that Aaron Gordon was gonna look like Zach LaVine, where they're super athletic, but at some point, you kind of increase your game. I don't think Zach LaVine will ever be that top tier player. You know what I mean? But you can be a Jamal Crawford type where you're a scorer, and you're almost an unstoppable scorer. But Aaron Gordon just doesn't. He just can't. Like he's not consistent with it. Zach LaVine took that step, and like he's at that level, elite scorer. Not the best defender, He's not going to carry your team to a championship. But he's someone. If my team had him, I'd love him on my team.
Yeah.
Right, as a third guy. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean, as a bucket getter. But Aaron Gordon hasn't. He's not consistent with it.
I like the
agree.
comparison with Zach LaVine. I do. Zach LaVine's shot used to be, oh my goodness. I remember when
Yeah, they should have been Minnesota with Chris Dunn from Peanuts.
Yeah, they did.
I mean, but he definitely he made a whole totally 360 because I couldn't see Zach LaVine being Zach LaVine if he was still in Minnesota.
You got to give thanks to
right
that ACL tear as well. He had a lot of time to really develop.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But I don't think he can't be the number one guy in Chicago if you want to win.
No.
But
he could be a hell of a number 3.
Yeah.
Hell of a number 2 or 3.
3. I can see a 3. Number 2, I don't see number 2. He doesn't play defense.
That's why I wanted
to
drop to number 4. For that reason.
Yeah, what you saying, Nick?
I was saying that was why I wanted LaMelo to drop to Chicago at number 4. Just because I feel like LaMelo is probably the guy, if you want to go in a new direction, especially with Chicago. They just got a new head coach, Billy Donovan, who is shown to be a tremendous coach. And by the looks of all the young guys, I mean, they have a pretty solid future. But like you guys said, Zach LaVine, I don't think you expect Zach LaVine to be the franchise player that can lead them to a possible championship within the next 5-6 years. So why not go for LaMelo Ball if he would have dropped with them, who was shown to be a tremendous playmaker, who was shown to be a superstar in the making. I just feel like that was a blessing in disguise if it would have happened.
Hell yeah. But I honestly I like Kobe though. I think he's a solid point guard. I think he'll only get better. He could play D and he can shoot the 3.
Yeah.
And play make.
Kobe to me is like a 2 guard more than a point guard. I don't know why.
He's like a tweener for me.
Yeah.
He's a tweener.
I think he's one of those guys you play in a double point guard set.
And then again, it's him or Satoransky, so
Satoransky, I cannot stand him, especially on 2K. I'm sorry, I cannot stand his ass on 2K.
I was waiting for 2K mention. I was waiting for that 2K mention. We haven't had a 2K mention yet in the preview.
Every time.
I had to let it be known. His jumper is fucking, oh my God.
It's okay. It's all right. All right, guys, we're going to switch gears. We're going to go to the Southwest Division. Here are the teams in the Southwest Division. All the Texas teams. So we got the Dallas Mavericks, the Houston Rockets, sprinkle some Memphis Grizzlies in there, New Orleans Pelicans in there, and then we got the San Antonio Spurs. What do we think about the Southwest Division? I mean, that's going to be a pretty competitive division if you ask me, because 3 of those teams made the playoffs last year, and 2 of them were on the cusp. So what do you guys think about that division?
Yeah, it's going to be – I think this is the first time where, the Spurs are, the last team in the division. I mean, it's been a while.
It's been 20 years plus.
Yeah, it's been a while. I mean, they have some young players. I don't think DeRozan or Aldridge will be there at the trade deadline, in my opinion. I think those are guys that could be some solid pieces to some contending teams. The Rockets, I like the Rockets. I don't know why James Harden wants to leave, in my opinion. I feel like DeMarcus, if when healthy, it's the best big man he's had in his career. I mean, they had Dwight, but Dwight was it was just his mindset was different. It was completely different when he was in Houston. And DeMarcus, unlike Dwight, DeMarcus could space the floor. He could shoot the 3. He's a really good passer. You look at a guy like Wall. Both of those guys are really motivated. Get a guy like Christian Wood from Detroit. He could also space the floor. Solid 4 guy. So I mean, all these talks about Harden wanting to go to Philadelphia or Miami. I mean, when you do that, you lose a lot of the depth on the team that you go to. So I don't know. I feel like he should just at least ride it out for this year, and if it doesn't work out, then look elsewhere. I think they could still make the playoffs and still be a solid team if Wall and Cousins are healthy. So, and for Dallas, obviously Porzingis being out, that's a big loss for them. His injury, his health is gonna decide how far they go as a team. If he's able to stay healthy, they're an excellent team. You saw them last year being one of the best offensive teams in history in the game. So they're going to be really good. But losing their offensive coordinator and Steven Silas going to Houston now, That's definitely a big loss for them, and I think that's a big plus for the Rockets. And then Memphis, they were right there. A lot of people were shocked last year that they were even in the conversation at the beginning of the season. They were even in the conversation to get to that 8th spot, and they were able to do it up until the bubble, and they lost to just a better team in Portland. They look good. They didn't make any big time plays. Obviously, Jaren Jackson, I believe, is still out with the meniscus, so that's a big loss for them, especially early in the season. Ja's gonna have to score more and facilitate, continue to be that floor general in order for them to get some W's in the conference. And I think the Pelicans. I like the Pelicans a lot. I mean, they got better. They improved their interior defense. Derek Favors in the middle was terrible. They were terrible, and they got a defensive head coach as well, getting a guy like Stan Van Gundy, who preaches defense. Offense was never the problem for the Pelicans. It was just their defense, turnovers. And I think getting a guy like Stan Van Gundy is solid. He's led a team to the finals before. He has that experience. I think Zion healthy also makes them, a dangerous team. Really, I like their front court a lot. BI coming off the MIP award. So Ball struggled in the bubble, but before that he looked really good. So and then they replaced Bledsoe. I mean, they replaced Drew with Bledsoe, which was a solid replacement. So I think it's a really good division. Like I said, the Spurs, they're young. I mean, they got some. I like Devin Vassell, the guy they drafted. They got Keldon Johnson. I like DeJounte Murray. They have some solid pieces, but I just don't know if it's going to amount to wins this year.
No, I like that. I like that. Yeah, pretty much starting with Dallas too. It's pretty much just the same thing. Porzingis, can he stay healthy? Like the big man with knees never works out. Obviously, hope for the best because they were about to beat the Clippers in the first round in the playoffs. So you can only imagine the potential of that team. They added Josh Richardson, who I like. He doesn't really get mentioned a lot, but I think he was really good in Miami. I don't think they used him right in Philly. I think Brett Brown isn't the coach. Probably won't see him again in the NBA as a head coach, to be honest. But I think he's a good defender. He can play a little bit. He can shoot the ball. Efficient, doesn't really turn with the ball. So I like that as you can give Lucas some time to off the ball. Houston, I was actually watching them play earlier before I came on, and Wall looks good. You just hope obviously they stay healthy. DeMarcus Cousins, I feel like he's in for a big season. I don't know why, again, the 2 years off, obviously due to injury, but rest on the body. So I wouldn't be surprised if he has average. Him and Wall go 20-10, 19-9, around there. He was shooting threes, and when they have a full team with Christian Wood, if they do start both of them or play both of them, they go 2 7-footers. That can both stretch the floor. I don't think we've seen that really before in the NBA. With John Wall and Harden creating. If Harden just wants to get his mind right and actually play, because like you said, Houston's not a bad roster. You know what I mean? They're not. I get. You've been there for so long. Maybe it's or maybe he thinks LeBron's back. He's that LeBron beatdown does something to you. That LeBron beatdown does something to you. So but that team is not as bad as I think people are making them to be. I like Wall more than Westbrook for that team, and to play with Harden. We'll see. Health is that team, but. The Pelicans, I think it was the coach way. I love Al Gentry. When he was in Golden State, he was doing his thing, but as a head coach, he doesn't really, he's not inspiring enough. You don't see him really, intent. Stan Van Gundy, he's been there, done that, has coached some really good teams, some really good players. I think he's gonna, give Lonzo the key. They got rid of Drew Holiday, which he was a bad player, but now you have Lonzo pretty much the top dog in the backcourt. Where Bledsoe can kind of just play off the ball. He's not a shooter. He can just, another slasher for Lonzo to find when he cuts through the paint. Even Adams, again, Derek Favors is awful. Slow-footed, unathletic. You know what I mean? He was one, and he's still under 30. I believe like 20, 29, but I feel like he's been in the league forever.
For a minute, yeah.
You know, yeah, he just looks like he don't got it no more. And it's fine. He's gone to Utah, let him do his thing, but
He was hurt. He was battling injury, but
yeah, I just didn't. He just looked whack. Honestly, you know, he just looked whack.
Adams is definitely a bigger upgrade.
Yeah, they upgraded. You know what I mean? They upgraded. I like Zion the way he's talking. What I'm seeing now, where you know the restrictions are off, or at least that's what they're saying. You never know when the ball tip and you see him sub out at the 8-minute mark. You never know, but just to hear that the restrictions are off, the body feels right, he feels good. Obviously, Brandon Ingram, I expect him to take that next step. Something about Jackson Hayes, I like off the bench. N'Keal Harry, I look to offensive player. He might do some things off the bench. JJ Redick, again, and then Ingram, Josh Hart, I think is still a really good player off the bench. Defender, you know, see how they do. We thought they were gonna have the AC. They had the easiest schedule in the bubble, and they said they just fizzled out. So you know, hopefully they're like, we got a little taste of what could be. We played in that environment of basketball, so again, they take that next step. The Spurs, I think they're gonna be competitive. They're never not competitive. I don't think you see them give up because Pop there. I think if they do start rebuilding, it'll be in the summer. I don't see the Spurs organization as just like let's just blow it up in the season. Too much pride. They've been the model of excellence just for too long for them to start. You know what I mean? So I think they're gonna ride it out. DeMarcus DeRozan. DeRozan's gonna be, you know, he's gonna finish out. Hopefully, you know, he just keeps doing his thing. LaMarcus Aldridge, he keeps doing his thing. DeJounte Murray, I like. Derek White, I think he's a really good point guard / two guard. Underrated too. If he can make next step, it could be someone interesting to watch. Lonnie Walker is a good athletic, bigger wing. He was really good coming out of college. I forget where he went, but he should
Miami.
Yeah, so he should be pretty good too. He has skill. He just really couldn't get on the floor, stay on the floor. But you know, if they want to let him run, you know, I think they said they're gonna play more run and gun after the bubble. So that's the way the league's going. So we'll see about with that. And then who else did I say? Memphis. Yeah, I expect them to be fine. Valanciunas is good. Morant is Morant. He's gonna be the lead point guard soon. I don't have a doubt in my mind. It's just gonna be can that team again take that next step? A playoff team, I don't know yet, but that division is still gonna be a competitive division, but amongst themselves, and the top teams are gonna be, you know, from the 5th to 8th seed. Damn, let me drink some.
Take a sip of water. Take a sip. Go ahead, Nick.
I honestly don't know how I feel about this division, to be honest. I just feel like, I mean, obviously everybody's going to get better from last year, but I don't see anybody really taking that big step as far as, like, you know, playoff contention. If I had to say one team that does, I'll say possibly Dallas. I think Dallas has a good chance of possibly getting like a 4 seed, a 5 seed, a 6 seed, but that's only if everything goes right. I personally have Luka winning MVP. I think he's going to continue to play at a very high level going forward, but it's also about, you know, how much production he gets out of guys like Porzingis. Guys like, who else could you say? Hardaway Jr. and all those other cats. I mean, they drafted Josh Green, they drafted Tyler Bay. I want to say they drafted another guy, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But I feel like that's the only team that's in a position to possibly like make a rise at, like, you know, as far as like one of the top teams out in the West. As far as Houston, just looking at like the way that they played on Friday night, John Wall is good. John Wall looks exceptional. John Wall, he looks like, you know, he hasn't missed a beat. He still has he still has that quickness and that acceleration. And then also, not to mention Boogie Cousins, who took the time during this pandemic to really get in the best shape that he could. So I mean, and in all honesty, I mean, obviously, I mean, it's all about how they stay healthy throughout this 72-game season. But I say if they do, even if they do miss a few games here and there, I feel like they can be in a position to get like a possibly a 6, 7, 8 seed, depending on if everything goes right and if James Harden does stay. Now, as for San Antonio, I think San Antonio will possibly be in that playing tournament. I think they'll probably fight for that 8 seed, but possibly like land in like that 9th, 10th position. But like I think CJ said it earlier. I mean, obviously DeMar DeRozan and LaMarcus Aldridge are the two peculiar individuals, because now it's like you don't know whether to keep them throughout the season or possibly trade them during the trade deadline. It's really just like a crazy situation at this point. If it were me, I would honestly just go ahead and ship them off, just because I mean honestly, you want to start young. You know, you got young guys in Lonnie Walker, DeJounte Murray, and a few other cats that are ready to like just really blossom into the best player of their capabilities. So, like I said, San Antonio is going to be fighting for that 8-9 spot and being that playing tournament, but I just don't see it happening for them. New Orleans is very interesting to me just because they did get Steven Adams, which is a really good plus. But with how competitive the West is, I don't know, man. It's just really tough. Obviously, Zion's going to have a better year. Hopefully, he plays more minutes, and hopefully, he stays healthy throughout the rest of the year. Brandon Ingram's going to continue to emerge as a star in the league. Hopefully, he'll average around the same numbers. It's really all about how much Zion takes his game to another level. Because obviously, I've been on record saying that Zion's a very talented player, but he just doesn't have the assertiveness to take his game to that next level. So it's all about how he approaches this season and how serious he sees it as far as New Orleans possibly making the playoffs. Because, like I said, I mean, they have a pretty solid team. They got a few good veterans and a lot of young guys that are ready to like really take it up a level. So it's really all about how Lonzo sees this year and how he really wants to take his game to the next level. Who else am I missing?
Grizzlies.
Memphis will probably be in that same position as San Antonio as well. Ja Morant's going to continue to emerge as a star point guard in this league. You know, also, I mean, you got other guys like Dylan Brooks and a few other guys as well, Jaren Jackson Jr., who will continue to emerge as well. I don't know. I just feel like Memphis is, I don't know, just like a few pieces away from really getting to that, getting as like a top seed in the Western Conference. But I just feel like with a lot more experience and a lot more years of like, you know, development, I think they'll be there within the next like few years.
I have two teams in this division that are going to make the playoffs. I know for sure. Dallas and Houston. I'm going to go ahead and say it. John Wall looks good. Boogie looks good. I want to see what Christian Wood looks like in that system. I don't know what Harden's going to do. I have no clue what Harden's going to do. Nobody knows what Harden's going to do. Him and PJ Tucker supposed to be at practice on Monday, but who knows? Who knows? I would not want a disgruntled star on my team to start the season. I just would not. He doesn't want to be there. If you don't want to be here, kick rocks. But I know the NBA is business, and it's more difficult than that. I understand that. I get that. These other three teams, I know I've said this before. I don't think New Orleans is going to make the playoffs. I know I've said that before. These other three teams, Memphis, New Orleans, and San Antonio, are in very interesting spots. The West got better. Let's just take a look at the West and see where these teams fit. Are they better than Utah?
Which team?
Any of those three teams, are they better than Utah?
I think the Pelicans can be just as good. If Donovan Mitchell's not going on the bubble level.
They did get Bogdanovich back, though.
They have two people that can score 25, Zion and B.I. So
okay. Can they stop anybody?
Right, that's the question. Right, that's the question. The defense, and that's why I feel like they brought Van Gundy in there to kind of get that down pat. So
okay,
but I think in terms of like getting a bucket, it's just Mitchell. I mean, Bogdanovich is solid. You know, he was really good for them. Got to see it another year, but I think it would be a good matchup. I could see that going 7. If they were to meet up.
Okay.
So who do you guys like more? Do you guys like Chris Snyder more? Or I'll say stand over Chris Snyder, to be honest. I haven't really seen Chris Snyder really coach. And, like, you know what I mean? Like, really coach. Mitchell's an athlete. Rudy Gobert. You know, but how do they play? Like, how do they even play? Do they play fast? I wouldn't say that. Do they play slow? Not really. Do they double to the post? No. Do they run a pick and roll offense? Not really. Kind of.
Really, yeah.
You know, I don't even know how they play. So, you know what I mean? If Pelicans, I think if the team was to drop,
it'd be Utah.
I think it'd be Utah.
Okay. Are any of these teams better than Portland?
No.
No.
Out of New Orleans,
Not that whole division. No. I argue
Not-
not that whole division.
Yeah.
If Portland can stay healthy, but if their wings can stay healthy, no, absolutely.
Yeah, I got them as a top 4 seed. I just do. All right. Phoenix. Or is Memphis, New Orleans, or San Antonio better than Phoenix?
That's tough.
Uh,
Because yes, but I don't know because Chris Paul. I didn't see what he did with Shea,
Yeah.
so I can't say. I actually have no clue.
New
Okay.
Orleans and the Suns. I mean, that's a good.
Hey,
That would be a good
who are
series.
you so high on the Pelicans? You really trust Zion and Ingram and I love me some Ingram. But you trust him like that?
Yeah,
I have my feelings about Zion. I'll keep them to myself.
I think so. I mean,
Nick already knows.
he was like I said. I said this when we had our first like live stream before the bubble started. I was like, he had put up 24 and 7, 75% healthy. So if he's in shape, ready to go, nobody can really. I don't really see a lot of people. He's too big. He's too quick for traditional fours. And if you put a guard on him, he's gonna post him up.
He's strong, real.
Yeah, so it's just like it's gonna be tough. I think them versus the Suns would be a nice matchup. I mean, we saw the Suns in the bubble, but they still have a lot to prove too. So.
But the thing with Phoenix that people forgot, and I learned the hard way because I'm pretty sure you guys we all do fantasy basketball here.
Mhm.
So I'm really high on DeAndre Ayton. Last year he missed the first 25 games because of the drug suspension, right? And Phoenix was looking really good in the bubble. One can argue 25 games without your second best player, without your big. Phoenix probably would have been and above the 8. Let's say they go 15 and 10 in that span. That's a big jump.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's not even that good of a record. 15 and 10, that's still like what? Let's say they go, 20 and 5 or something. You never know, you know what I mean? So
Somebody's blowing up my comments about the Lakers. We talked about the Lakers the last show. We're previewing divisions.
yeah,
But the Lakers are winning the championship.
Where'd Caleb go? Caleb out here hiding
Yeah.
on the table stuff. Yeah. in trouble.
We talked about the Lakers in the last show. We're previewing divisions. Right now we're on the Southwest Division. But in my opinion, I'm just gonna throw that out there. I think the Lakers are winning the finals. I don't see anybody that can stop the Lakers.
State.
Oh yeah, that's right. You are Gold State.
And I'm mad 'cause
Yeah. Both of y'all, Gold
I
State.
had to work, and I was mad. So like, damn, it's great.
Not even that. I'm gonna get this out here with the way that Katie and Kyrie look
We
today.
look today. Woo-wee. Yeah.
Continues
Nah,
throughout
I
the
give
year.
Kyrie a month.
Oh,
Give Kyrie a month. Bro.
Y'all hard. Why y'all so hard on Kyrie?
Kyrie pisses me off, man.
Yeah, that would be a great finals if they met up.
Yeah, I think the Lakers Nets is the finals that I have. I got the Lakers. Now I got them in 7. But I just, if all goes well, if there's no COVID, which there will be COVID, the COVID's already affected the NFL season, the NBA season, the NFL season, the MLB season. It's affected college sports already. I think COVID will be a factor. I do. I think it will affect the season. Now, how much it's going to affect the season, we don't know. We really don't know. Now, does the NBA give themselves wiggle room to reschedule these games?
But
how
remember the vaccine will be out by then, so that
Yeah.
you never know.
you never know.
I'm not taking it, but
Yeah, me neither. But yeah,
people will.
yeah. There's Caleb. Caleb's back. But yeah,
I'm back.
they wanted me to talk about the Lakers. We talked about the Lakers for like 45 minutes a couple of days ago on Friday. So we're talking about the Southeast and the Southwest divisions. Caleb, before I give my input on the division, I started it. Before I give my input on the division, though, I want you to give me your input on the Southwest division. You got the Mavericks, the Rockets, the Grizzlies, the Pelicans, and the Spurs.
I got the Mavericks winning the division.
Okay.
I think they're gonna take the next step. I think Luka's gonna become a better leader. I'm not sold on Houston just because of what's going down there with James Harden. He's showing that he wants to leave, and I mean, Wall and Cousins, they're on their comeback season tip. So I don't know if they're enough to win the division. They could probably sell him for Harden to stay another year though. So I'm interested in watching that. I hope that they maybe could, prove to him that Wall and Cousins and Harden could try to get it done. That would be cool to watch.
Hold on, Caleb. Caleb, we got breaking news. The Detroit Pistons have waived LiAngelo Ball.
I just seen that.
That fast?
Already?
Damn.
Didn't even play though.
Yeah, like when did that's cold as ice.
What was the point? Get my boys' hopes up?
He's a body, practice body.
Yeah, I just want to say that breaking news. Go ahead, Caleb. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That's your man, J. Caleb. Dang.
I mean, I just don't get it. I don't get it. But next, I mean, Houston, I got Houston next. I think they're going to be second in the division. Memphis, I got them going third. And who are the other two teams?
New Orleans and San Antonio.
I got New Orleans going fourth, and San Antonio's they're going to get flushed down the toilet. They need to
Flush down the
they
toilet.
need to fucking redo their whole season. They need to rebuild. That's the right word. I'm excited though. I'm excited to see how Lonzo and Zion run. Honestly, I'm really just not too excited for San Antonio. I hate to do them like this, but I'm just not excited for them. I hate to do them like that. And I mean, yeah, that's my outlook right now. I kind of had a brain fart, but
It's
yeah.
okay. It's okay. We were talking about teams in the division. Dallas, if they play an inch of defense, if they played an inch of defense last year, they had the most points in NBA history, didn't they? We're like the top offense in NBA history or something last year.
They
History in the NBA.
did their knee score on them.
Yeah, and it's like, dude, if y'all just played an inch of defense, y'all could just be in the middle of the pack on defense. You know how good Dallas could be, but KP's not healthy, so
The White Powell got hurt.
yeah, it's gonna be rough for Dallas. But I think they win the division because they have the best player in the division, if that makes sense.
And I
Yeah,
don't
they do.
think at all.
MVP.
Like Luke over Harden this year.
I don't know what Harden's going to do. We don't know if Harden's going to be in Houston this year. Like I told you before, I wouldn't want him on my team disgruntled. That's just me personally. I don't want that around my team. How are him, Wall, and Boogie and Wood? I think if Harden comes back, I'm just going to say this. If Harden comes back to Houston, that will stunt Christian Wood's growth this season because he's going to be the fourth guy to touch the ball. Agreed?
Yeah, but
Because Boogie's
shouldn't he be the fourth guy though?
Yeah.
Wait,
He was gonna be the fourth guy either way.
He's not that bad. He's not that bad.
Nah, he's
He's
good.
not that bad, but he's
Torched
not.
Thunder.
Nice,
He
man.
torched OKC. He's nice, but you want to see him develop. He's still a young guy, right? You want to see him develop. Can he develop with James Harden there? Honestly, really?
Yeah, I think Harden can make him better. Pick and fade game.
How?
Yeah.
How long is
Pick-
Harden
in
going
the-
to dribble the
in the
ball
pick
in
and-
the shot clock? You got 24 seconds
I
in the
see-
shot clock.
I
But
think
that's
their
James
offense-
Harden. Everywhere he go, he gonna have the ball.
I think their offense is going to be a lot different. I mean, Mike, that was more like Mike D'Antoni's offense.
Okay.
That
All
five
right.
out, Harden at the key.
Harden's
dribble.
gonna buy into any other offense besides him doing everything offense.
I mean, it's gotten him nowhere. So hopefully it comes to that. I mean, he got him, accolades, got him an MVP, got him some scoring titles. But when it comes down to the playoffs, we already know that style offense does not work.
Kobe
So
said you can't win a championship with that style offense too. I mean,
can't-
we
can't
knew that.
I
we
mean,
can't do it. So
But
I
you
think
do.
Steven Silas, like you just talked about with the
Yeah.
Mavericks, he was the offensive coordinator in Dallas last year. So him coming to Houston, seeing how they played, and I know it's preseason, but you still
They look good.
he looks solid. So if those guys are healthy, Christian Wood, he can space the floor. So I agree with Caleb. They could do some pick and pop action, pick and roll action. Either Cousins or Wood could pop and roll. It could be pretty dangerous. You got Gordon and Tucker can knock down threes. So if they all buy in, they could be solid. They could be really good.
Okay.
But it's up to Harden, though, like you said.
Yeah, and I'm worried about. I want to see Christian Wood take that next step. In Detroit, when Blake Griffin got hurt, you just had Derrick Rose there. He was in out the lineup. Christian Wood took that next step for them. like the last part of the season, which we would say like January, February, because the season ended abruptly. He kind of took that next step because he gave the Thunder fits. We played Detroit. We played them in the span of like a week or two, and he gave OKC fits, and I was like, whoa. And he was really starting to come into his own. Like I really like Christian Wood. Like I really do.
I wanted to stay together. I was like, yo, if we trade that pick and we go down the draft, I would love do a sign and trade back down, let's go. But
yeah,
we kept the pick and stuff like that. But I was like, I like Christian Wood too. I think he's gonna be really good. Like a really good, like what Kevin Love was, but better when he was in Cleveland. I think he has that kind of potential.
You think Christian Wood has that type of potential?
Yeah, bro.
Damn.
He does.
Okay.
And he can play
defense.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's athletic.
So you said Kevin Love and
Kevin
Minnesota?
Love, no, Kevin Love in Cleveland.
Okay. Oh, it's, right. Okay, floor space. Right.
Yeah. Cleveland. More that role.
Yeah, and then we got New Orleans. Now I have my feelings about Zion. Nick, don't laugh. I have my feelings about Zion, but my question is with Zion, expanding your game, staying healthy, being in shape. I think Van Gundy can get that out of him. I want to see Zion do great things. I know I might not be as easy on the eyes about Zion as you guys are, but I want him to be great. Like I want him to be great. I really do. I want him to live up to the hype. Because you're gonna get to see him on TV 13 or 14 times this season, of course. So we're gonna go see New Orleans a lot, and I mean a lot, because I'm gonna watch every NBA game this season. So I'm going to be watching him every time he steps on the floor. I'm watching Zion. Okay, guys. I don't hate Zion. I don't hate anybody. I don't dislike Zion. I just think that people need to pump the brakes just a little bit and let him develop. That's all I'm saying.
Like you want to see him shoot, like shooting threes and stuff.
He's gonna. I mean, that's what big men are doing.
He's a mid-range. He definitely
a mid-range, and it's so flat. Have you seen? It's flat-footed.
I don't think he can shoot a mid-range because it has to be a pull-up. And he's too big to shoot pull-ups, bro. He's his arms. He's too big to shoot pull-ups.
I don't think he needs it. I don't think he needs it right now because you look at Giannis. He's just built differently, but his play is like Giannis.
It's weird. It would be weird to see him dribble down the floor and shoot a mid-range pull-up. Like that would be odd.
I probably fall off my couch.
You said what, bro?
I said. Go ahead, bro.
No, you go ahead, Nick. I'm listening to you.
Go ahead, Nick.
I was just saying, like, you comparing Zion and Giannis. Like, Giannis don't have as bad as like injuries or bad as knees as
Nah, I'm just comparing how they play.
Yeah. But then again, it's like also, I mean, Zion plays so reckless though as well. Like, and that's something that he's gonna have to really do. He's gonna have to really settle down, especially with the injury history that he has. But I feel like if he does stretch out a little bit, not even like a 3-point shot. I mean, even though he does have a 3-point shot, but it's not consistent. But kind of like having a post game or possibly like a foul line jump shot. I feel like doing that will possibly more, like expand his offensive game more. Because I feel like when he just attacking the paint, it's like the defense is going to understand that, and that's when they're going to send the double teams. They're going to like really like triple him, and it's going to like force some bad things. So I feel like if he expands his game more to a wider margin, then I feel like he'll be a more effective also in the making.
Yeah, I think he needs to develop a game from the mid range and below. If he could develop getting the ball at the elbow and work his way down in the middle of the paint or to the paint, that'll be solid. That's a good start.
So I don't bash Zion. I'm just a little tough on him than most people. Okay, but I'll admit that. San Antonio. Now I have a special place in my heart for the Spurs. If you guys do not know, I have a special place in my heart for the Spurs. But I think they need to make a decision about how they're going to transition. Do you get rid of DeRozan and Aldridge and just give it to those young guys? Let those young guys turn up? What do you do with LaMarcus Aldridge and DeMar DeRozan? Because at the end of the day, they are your two leading scorers. You know what I mean? So what goes on with them? What do you do with them? Because I don't think they fit for what Pop and RC Buford want to do in San Antonio, but they're there. You know what I mean? You know how players don't fit, but they're there. I think that's what San Antonio is dealing with right now. So I would like to see them let those young guys have more of the reins. I know LaMarcus gets the ball down low. He's probably the only, I can't name 5, maybe 6 big men that do what LaMarcus does. You know what I mean? He gets the ball down low, and it's just kind of like dribble, 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 fade away. You know what I mean? Like, big men don't do that much anymore. He shoots those mid-range jump shots as well, but he's kind of a last of a dying breed a little bit because he does play with his back to the basket more often than not. But I think that he and DeMar DeRozan need to be gone, and I think that the Spurs just need to let DeJounte Murray and White, Lonnie Walker, let those young guys, Vassell, let those young guys just have the reins in San Antonio. As far as my rankings go, I want to go Dallas 1. I really do. I trust the offense. Defense, we're going to see. We're going to see about the defense. I'm not quite sure how I feel about the defense, but we're going to see about the defense in Dallas. So I'll go Dallas 1. 2, I'm really high on Wall and Boogie. I mean, they look good in the preseason. I mean, whatever Harden's going to do is what he's going to do. Whatever Harden. I'm kind of over him being a diva, a $40 million plus diva. I'm kind of over it at this point. So I'll have Houston 2. 3, this is where it gets dicey for me because I love Memphis. I love Taylor Gabriel. I love what they're doing in Memphis.
Oh, yeah, here too now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going on with JJJ. Brandon Clark, he probably will take that next step. We'll see with Grayson Allen. We got Dylan Brooks. They got a nice, solid team there in Memphis. So who has a better team when all healthy, Memphis or New Orleans?
New Orleans.
Taking the Pelicans, man. I know.
Taking the Pelicans? Okay.
I think on paper,
more.
I think that on paper,
every time they played the Grizzlies last year, they smacked the Grizzlies.
Okay.
You have a point. But I think on paper, New Orleans has a better team, but I mean, I honestly would go with Memphis.
Okay, Nick. What you think? I already know what you think, Nick. Go ahead and say it. Go ahead and say it, Nick.
I already said it. I got New Orleans. I think obviously Zion's gonna only continue to get bigger if everything goes well. And I know Amber hates me saying that, but
I don't hate Zion. I don't.
But I mean, just looking at the Pelicans right now, they're obviously the better team, and not only Zion but Brandon Ingram. I think Brandon Ingram is only going to get better. I just don't see him declining at any time at all. I think he's still motivated just because everybody in his draft class continues to emerge, and while he was still kind of in that same slump, I just feel like he still has a chip on his shoulder. Not to mention the presence of Steven Adams at the 5-man under the basket. That's going to be a huge difference for them this season. Take a lot of pressure off Zion in the front court. And I mean, Memphis is good. Don't get me wrong. Memphis is going to be here within the next few years. John Morant, Dylan Brooks, Brandon Clark, Jaren Jackson Jr. But I just feel like as of right now, if you have to choose one or the other, then you got New Orleans. So I just feel like they're in the better position to be a playoff team going forward.
Okay. You know what? I'm going to do this. It's going to surprise you guys, but I'm going to have New Orleans 3. Now, I do think it depends on how they play and the health of New Orleans and Memphis can flip-flop. I think that could probably be kind of interchangeable just depending on health and COVID and all of that. But I think that 3-4 could kind of get a little dicey. And then the Spurs 5, just because I just don't. And I love the Spurs. I do. I was a Spurs fan before I was an OKC fan, of course, because we didn't get the Thunder until 2008. But I don't know what's going on in San Antonio. And it's the first time I'm saying this because San Antonio missed the playoffs back-to-back seasons, the first time in 20, 21 years. Could that possibly be the case in San Antonio? Possibly, maybe.
Probably.
It's the case.
Most likely.
Yeah, and the West to me got better, and I really like what Memphis is doing. I like what New Orleans is doing. Quiet as kept. And then you got Houston. The moves they made. Looks like Wall and Boogie are healthy. Hopefully, they can stay healthy throughout the season. And Dallas. They don't have KP, but I trust Luka. I think Luka will probably finish top 3 in MVP. I'm not sure if he'll get it, but he'll finish top 3. Depending on how Dallas finishes, I think it kind of depends on how Luka finishes. Now, I have a question. Is there any team in this division? I didn't ask this question in the last division, but I'll ask it in this division. Is there any team in this division that can push the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals? Jerome said no.
LeBron is nice. That man is nice.
When you say push, what do you mean? Like 6 games?
6 or 7. That's what I mean by push.
7, 6, eh?
Maybe the Rockets. Maybe.
If they're switching and Harden's buying in.
I mean, like, because they went 5 with the small lineup. So now you got Wood and Cousins. It kind of offsets a little, not offset, but it makes a better matchup for the Lakers front court with Davis and Gasol. So if they buy in, if they're locked in, maybe 6. I think they could go 6, but I don't see them winning the series against the Lakers.
Okay.
But that's 3. That's 3 All-Stars right there to the Lakers. Even though the Lakers 2 All-Stars usurped them, but it would be a good series. I would take the Lakers at 6. They would meet up.
Okay.
I don't see no team.
Yeah.
I really don't. I'm trying not to be biased.
It is what it is.
I think the Mavericks, they would have a chance when healthy to bring us to 6 with KP, like 100% KP. I think they could bring us to 6, but with no KP, no. I mean, you might give us a good game, good 4 games, close, but not to 6.
Okay, Nick, what you think?
I think the Lakers are just too good for these teams. I mean, obviously, for Houston, it's all about. I mean, at this point, it's all about what James Harden does from here. Does he stay or does he go? But I feel like even with the James Harden, if the Lakers did see the Rockets in the Western Conference Finals, I just feel like what Houston has. I think the Lakers just got better defensively, adding Gasol. Not to mention that Anthony Davis, LeBron will hopefully continue to be a solid defender on the team. Not to mention Wesley Matthews as well. Adding was a big plus for them. I don't know, man. The Lakers have just gotten better, and I feel like the only team that could possibly stop them is obviously the Clippers. And then
Clippers are down by 20 to Lakers bench. I'll tell you that. I'm watching the game. It's over there. They're down. Y'all watching it too, right?
Well, I'm watching. I'm watching
it
right
to THT.
Yeah, THT is balling.
Yeah, they're down 20, and AD and Brown didn't play. So I think Clippers are. Well, I'm not speaking on the Clippers because I got nothing positive to say about these guys.
Okay, so we're wrapping up the show, right? And so we've done every division, right? So we're gonna start with the East. Give me your top 8. I'm gonna say 8. Well, I'll say 9 because they're gonna have that play. Is it a 9-10 playoff game or playing game? Is it 8-9?
It's 2. It's 2. It's 9-10.
Yeah, 9 and 10. Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay, so give me your top 10 teams in the East, and then give me your top 10 teams in the West.
I'll go first. I'm gonna go Milwaukee 1 again. I'll go Milwaukee 1, even though I don't see them getting to the finals, but I'll have them number 1. I'll say
For regular season.
Brooklyn's gonna be 2. Boston 3. Toronto 4. Philly 5. Washington 6. Oh yeah, Miami. I guess Miami 7. Even though I don't want to have them 7, but I guess I'll have them 8. Atlanta 9. I feel like I'm missing somebody. I don't know why. I feel like I'm missing someone. As far as a 9 seed, I'll go Orlando. And number 10.
I don't think it would even get to 10, bro.
Yeah.
I I guess number 10. I'll say either Chicago or Cleveland. I'm just leave it at that. Are we both at the same time or?
We'll do East, then we'll go through and do West, and then we'll wrap up the show. Go ahead and who wants to go next?
All right, well, okay, I'll go real quick. So I got healthy Brooklyn 1,
Okay.
Boston 2, Philly 3, Bucks 4, Raptors 5. Oh no, wait. Miami 5, Raptors 6, Washington 7, Atlanta 8. Oh man, this is where it gets the nitty-gritty. Charlotte 9, and the Knicks 10. No. Pacers are there too.
Yeah. Y'all missing Indiana.
Yo, okay, Pacers 8, Pacers 7, Pacers 7, Atlanta 8, 9 and 10. They're gonna be the Knicks. I think the Knicks. I'm gonna give CJ some love. The Knicks, whatever the bottom, the Knicks is number 10. I'll give the Knicks 10.
Wow. CJ, you gonna get a Knicks type of love?
10, bro. Let's go next.
Nah, I'm not gonna do that. I got Milwaukee 1. I think they're regular season juggernaut. I got Brooklyn 2, Boston 3, Philly 4, Miami 5, Toronto 6, Pacers 7. I got the Wizards 8, Atlanta 9, and put the Magic at 10.
Over the Knicks?
Come on. Come on, bro.
He didn't even put his own team in the top 10.
I knew that was gonna happen. It's okay, CJ. It's all right. Go ahead, Caleb.
I'm gonna go with Brooklyn at number 1. I'm gonna go with Milwaukee at number 2. I'm gonna give the Heat number 3.
Ooh, you're dissing.
I'm gonna go with Boston. Actually, no. I'm gonna give Boston number 3. I'm gonna give the Heat the 4th one. Jesus Christ. Jesus. I'm gonna go with Toronto at 5. Atlanta at.
Wait, you forgot Philly.
Oh, I forgot Philly. You're right. I knew I was missing somebody. I knew I was missing somebody. I was feeling it. But I'm going to go with Philly at 6. They have a solid squad, but I'm going to go with Philly at 6. And then I'm going to go with Atlanta at 7. And I'm going to go with Indy at 8. I'm going to go with Chicago at 9. And I'm going to go with Charlotte at 10.
No Wizards?
Oh my God! I missed them too. No, the Wizards. I'm gonna go. Actually, no. I'm gonna go with the Wizards at 8, and I'm gonna put Indy at 9, and then I'm gonna end it off with Chicago.
Got you.
All right, guys, here we go.
I knew I was missing somebody. God, man.
I'm going.
10. It's hard. We got to do 10.
It is. I'm gonna go Brooklyn 1, Boston 2, Milwaukee 3, Miami 4. Oh boy, this is where it gets dicey. Philly 5, Washington 6,
Ooh.
Indy 7, Atlanta 8. Here we go. This is where it really gets dicey. I forgot Toronto, didn't I?
Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay.
It's hard when you got to do 10.
Yeah. Okay. Give me Toronto at 7. Okay. I had Philly at 5. I had the Wizards at
6.
It's 6. Okay.
You want to call out the Raptors?
Okay. The Raptors 6. The Wizards at 7. At 8, Atlanta.
That makes sense.
Okay. 8 Atlanta. 9. Sheesh.
You got the Pacers.
I got the Pacers. Dagnammit. Okay, yeah, Pacers at 9, and give me the Magic at 10.
Yeah.
But I will say this: my top 4 are interchangeable. I will say my top 4 will probably be interchangeable between Brooklyn, the Celtics, Milwaukee, and Miami. I think those teams will probably be doing some shuffling.
I think the Bucks are going to be down this year.
I got them at 3. I got them at 3. I got Miami at 4.
That L after they lost to Donovan, that's an L. That's an L.
I mean, Holiday was a W though.
Yeah, but
I'm telling you, Holiday was a W.
They lost a lot, man. They lost a lot. They lost Hill, Matthews, Robin.
He was boo-boo to me. He don't do nothing but pass the ball and play 3D.
He led the NBA in 3-point percentage last year.
Because he takes like 3 threes.
Come on. He's
You're telling me he's a solid point guard?
He's a good backup.
He's a solid backup.
And in the finals, he was looking super scared with LeBron. He was looking super scared that year with LeBron.
He's not built for that life.
All right, guys, now give me your West. give me your top 10 in the West. This is gonna be hard.
Yeah, damn.
All right. I already know I'm probably gonna miss somebody, but if I end up missing somebody, just remind me. All right, I got the Lakers 1, I got the Clippers 2, I got the Nuggets 3, I got the Blazers 4, I got the Jazz 5, I got Golden State 6, I got Dallas 7, Phoenix 8, Houston 9.
Damn.
And
9?
I feel like I'm missing somebody.
Yeah, Houston at 9.
What's that?
At 9, no, Nick? You got Houston at 9?
Hey,
They gonna be that bad?
it depends. It depends. If Harden does stay in the NBA, they already have playoff. But
So you think Wall and Boogie can't get a top 8 spot without Harden? Eric Gordon look good too.
I'm gonna have to see. Oh shoot, I forgot about it. I'll say New Orleans at 10 then. God, it's tough. It's tough.
Okay. All right. Go ahead, Jerome.
Oh man, okay. I got Lakers 1. Oh my gosh, Lakers 1, Golden State 2, Clippers 3. Damn. Wow. I want to say Portland 4, Phoenix 5, Houston 6, Mavs 7.
Let me stop you now, bro. You're forgetting Denver.
No, I said Denver 2. No, I said Denver 2.
Oh, okay.
I said Golden
You
State 2.
said Golden State 2.
Did I say them 3?
No.
Okay.
You had Clippers 3.
Okay. Lakers 1, Golden State 2, Denver 3, Clippers 4, and that could be either or, depending on what you like. I don't trust Paul George at all. So 3, 4, then 5 Portland, 6 Phoenix, 7 Mavs, 8 Houston. The Mavs and Houston can switch depending on health, and obviously Harden's there. 9, 10 will be Pelicans and Utah. Whichever one. Yeah, because I think Utah's gonna fall. Utah can that 9 and 10. You still get a chance to get in, eh? Utah, just because you're 10 doesn't mean you're lottery for you. Hey, and they're older. Like who do they have that got, like besides Mitchell? Who's a young guy? Who's running the floor?
Nobody.
The only person I know they added was Derek Favors, and we all know what's he saying.
Jordan Clarkson had a nice little season last year.
I mean, are we talking about Jordan Clarkson?
I mean, they don't. We all know Utah doesn't have enough to win it all, but
Yeah, man. You get them at 9 or 10.
Hey, no, he got Houston at 9. So what?
Yeah, that's true. You got 3 all NBA players at 9. It's okay. You know what I mean? It's all good.
Everybody can't win, man. Everybody can't win.
I agree. Go ahead, CJ. I agree.
I got the Lakers 1. I got the Nuggets 2. Got the Trailblazers 3. Clippers 4. Warriors 5. The Mavericks 6. I got the Rockets at 7. I got Phoenix at 8. I got the Jazz at 9 and the Pelicans at 10.
Dope.
Did you take the Memphis?
Portland over the Clippers?
In the regular season. In the regular season, yeah. I think they, and like I said, I feel like I don't know what the Clippers are gonna do, man. I mean, what Paul George are we gonna get? Are they gonna stay healthy? Are they gonna load manage? I don't know what's going on over there, bro. So
Yeah, it's true because Kawhi played both games against the Lakers. I'm surprised he didn't sit out tonight, honestly. So
I think they're going full fledged with it.
That's what I'm saying. Maybe this is the year where Kawhi's like, yo, F load management. They're talking down on me.
I would hope so. I would hope so. The way they folded. So.
For sure.
Yeah, but Paul George is whack though. So
I'm gonna go with the Lakers at number 1. I'm gonna go with Denver at number 2. I'm gonna go with the Clippers at number 3. I'm gonna go with the Mavs at number 4. I'm gonna put Golden State at 5. I'm gonna put Portland at 6. I'm gonna put Houston at 7. And I'm gonna put Phoenix at 8. I'm gonna put Memphis at 9. Oh shit! I was talking all that about Utah, and I'm gonna have to put them at 10.
wait. Hold on.
Where's Dallas?
6.
Okay, that's right. You got Dallas.
Where's Utah?
He said 10.
10.
Oh, with me, right? Oh, okay.
Hey, you're right. You're right.
Woo.
I need my words right there. You're right though. Hey,
I might be eating mine too. Because now that I look at it, now that when you look at all the teams in the West, because when Portland's fully healthy last year, I think they could have made a better run if they were fully healthy last year. So when you look at all the teams though, and you're looking like people don't like to watch Utah. Klay Thompson said Utah was boring. I mean, people, it's Utah. Like, it's Utah. And I don't mean to talk bad on Utah, but it's Utah. Like, people just don't want to watch Utah. I don't understand why.
Yeah,
so
they don't have that second guy.
Yeah,
they're not
just,
man. That's it. They're not interesting. The coach, it's a boring team. It's a boring place. They don't cut it, bro.
Everybody else
I think
has
they can
two
have
guys.
those days again, like how they used to with John Stockton and Malone. They just need the
What?
2 guys.
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know who's Malone over there, but
I mean, you got half of it in Mitchell. Mitchell's a star. You just got to get somebody to go with him.
yeah, but who wants to come to Utah?
that's
I mean, fuck it. Let them have a percentage of the franchise.
Let them be LeBron. Let them be in the GM.
that's what I'm saying. Like all the other teams in the West have at least two guys.
Yeah, that are nameable, household names.
I mean, you did hear Paul George on All the Smoke say they had a chance at AD in Indiana. So, I mean, it's possible. It's possible for a small market team to land somebody like that.
Oh, small market, yeah, maybe, yeah.
It's possible, but not. I mean, we're small. Okay, see, it's small market. Let me tell you.
That's the thing. They're gonna be good. They're gonna be good enough not to get a high pick. So they're like in that. They're like in a tough spot. Like
they're like Atlanta in the East. They're just in the West.
Yeah.
With less.
Yeah.
So here's my top 10 guys. Go ahead.
No, go.
Okay. Oh boy, Lakers and everybody else. I'm just playing. Well, pretty much. I got the Lakers. Oh goodness, this is where it gets dicey.
You see, this is the funniest part, just to see who y'all miss.
Yeah, because it's hard. I'm actually looking at the list. Like, you can't see it, but I gotta look at the teams because it's kind of tough. So I got the Lakers. I'll go Denver. I'll go Denver. I'll go to Clippers. But I think the Denver and Clippers might be interchangeable. I'll go Portland. I'll go Golden State. All right, so I got 5. Yes, I haven't missed anybody yet. I got 5. I go Dallas 6. Okay, cross Dallas off. I got to cross off my list. Phoenix 7.
Phoenix, Houston.
Oh,
You just want to see Phoenix in there because they got CP3.
of course. Okay, so I go Houston 6. 7, right? I'm on 7. I go
Yeah.
Houston 7, Phoenix 8. No, I go Houston. No, I got Dallas 6. Damn it. Okay, this is hard. I got Dallas 6. I go Houston 7, Phoenix 8.
You still got Pelicans, Memphis,
Utah.
Utah.
Ooh. Utah, I'll say 9 because here's the deal. Okay, Utah and Phoenix might be interchangeable at 8 and 9. Okay, can I say that? They might be interchangeable. In 10, I got the Pelicans or Memphis. I think the Pelicans and Memphis will probably be interchangeable as well. I think those bottom 4 or 5 teams for like that 7, 8, 9, 10 spots, it's going to be between 5 teams. I honestly believe that because I think it's going to shuffle. I think 2 through 4 could shuffle possibly. I think Golden State's going to surprise some people. I think Steph's heard enough, and Steph is tired of hearing that, oh, you can't carry your team and blah, 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 blah. I think Steph is going to come out with revenge this season. I honestly do. I think Draymond's going to play better. I like Wiseman. I like Golden State. If they had Clay, I would have them number 2. I'm just going to be completely honest with you. If they had Clay, they're number 2 in the West. If they had Clay, and I'm only dropping them to 5. So, and they could be 4, they could be 3. It just really depends on the season. So those are my top 10 teams. I got the Lakers winning the finals. Who they gonna play in the West Conference Finals? I don't know, but it's the Lakers for me. I don't know about everybody else, but it's Lakers.
You know what's funny? This is the first time that I've seen a team with like a number 1 pick not even get mentioned. Like Minnesota, I didn't think Minnesota's that bad. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's good.
But the West is so tough. Like, the West is tough.
You know what? F it. I'm going to swap Minnesota and take out Utah. Minnesota's 10.
Oh, come on.
No.
Like, Anthony Edwards still has to prove himself. If he can prove himself that he's solid.
But D'Lo, you got players over there. You got some young, athletic, The coach needs to go. I'm not feeling that coach, but
they need what's their system like?
Yeah, listen,
that's what it's gonna be.
Put the ball in the hoop, run and put the ball in the hoop, whatever way you can.
Reminds you of NBA Jam, the old school NBA Jam basketball game where you just run it to put the ball in the hoop.
So you just kill that pick and roll, pick and pop, and then let D'Lo and Cat average 28 a game both, and just and then Anthony Edwards run the wing. And then you still got you got who else? You got Rubio there. You got everybody.
Rubio, Culver.
Yeah, put them above Utah. They're 10.
Anybody else want to make any changes to their list?
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say that Utah and Houston are 2 teams that I would switch out. If Houston loses Harden mid-season, I think Utah could jump in that spot.
Where'd you have
last year being solid?
Where'd you have Houston at, Caleb? On your list?
Like 7.
Okay, so you think Utah could get that 7 spot?
7?
Yeah, like 7, 8. They'll be able in the hunt to fight for the 7, 8 spot. Like get that play-in game. I think they have a chance.
Will any of these teams in the West surprise you by making the playoffs?
What do you mean, like?
As a team, like if let's say we didn't mention Sacramento, OKC, Minnesota, will any of those teams surprise you by making it into the playoffs?
Yeah.
If any one of those teams?
Yeah.
I'd probably say
Minnesota.
Well, I'll say I'll be shocked if the Kings.
Luke Walton might be the worst coach in the league.
Yeah, he's top 2. Definitely. He's top 2, bro.
Everybody agrees he's top 2, one of the top 2 worst coaches. Yeah, I agree. I mean, he just doesn't know what to do with Buddy Hield. He's like, do I want to start him? Do I not? That drove me bonkers last season. Yeah. I mean, that drove me up the wall. Like,
I would say the Thunder too, just because like we just don't know.
You don't know what you're gonna get from.
You don't know what's gonna happen with that team. That team could look completely different 2 months from now.
Explain that, TJ. What do you mean? Who are OKC?
That's what I'm saying. I'd be shocked if they went to the playoffs. Like,
it's a shot. It's gonna be shot. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That team could look completely different in 2 months because they traded players
all
for picks. Yeah, so it's like you don't even know if that roster. That was the question, right? Like, what team?
What team would surprise you by making the playoffs?
Yeah, I was about to say,
For me, it'd be OKC. It would surprise me if OKC made the playoffs. And I could say that this year. I said that last year, but whoa, boy. But this year is different. This year is completely different. So it would surprise me if my hometown team made the playoffs. It would surprise me.
Okay, I'm asking you a question though, Amber. Mm-hmm. Who would you take out for OKC in the playoffs?
Who would I take out?
Yeah, like who would you take out?
Phoenix.
You said Phoenix, TJ?
Phoenix. I think Phoenix.
You take them out? You take them out?
Okay. I see what you're saying.
No, because I mean, because they're for sure it would be a nice defensive team. It definitely wouldn't be an 8 seed. It definitely
either Memphis or New Orleans. I mean, yeah, Memphis or New Orleans because they're my battling for that 10 seed. You know what I mean? So if OKC was to make if they were to make a run, it would have to be at that playing game. Yeah, they'd have to be at their playing game. But I don't see that. Now, they did look good in the preseason. Those young players did look good. But the West is a juggernaut this year. I mean, it's just gonna be tough. We got Houston all the way down at 6 and 7. Like we got Utah trying to get in, and Utah was 4. Well,
y'all was laughing at me until y'all had the same shit.
We have to think about it. We was like,
take a step back.
Healthy Portland, Denver's gonna be there. The Clippers are gonna be there. Golden State's healthy now. Like mostly healthy. They got Steph, so it's kind of like, dang, like where does Utah fit in? And I have that same problem with the Houston Rockets. Where do the Houston Rockets fit in? What does Harden look like in their new system? What is Harden going to do? Is he even going to be in Houston? Like, I mean, is he?
What top team is going to fall the most? What top 3 team? Obviously, we all agree Lakers number 1.
Yeah, right? Lakers ain't going nowhere.
So between Clippers, Golden State, or wherever you have Golden State, Denver. Denver's still very unproven. The 2, 3, 4 is very important.
Yeah.
Right? Because Denver can easily flop. They're starting MPJ. It's really Jokic and Jamal Murray. And everybody just caught through their sport. You know what I mean? Golden State still, that's my spot, but we still got to prove ourselves, Wiggins and PJ. Clippers, Paul George, and that was Ibaka. In free agency, that's a name. What did they get in free agency? Nobody, right? That's worth mentioning.
Oh yeah, Batum.
They got Batum now,
and he was starting, and he was at the back of the bus in Charlotte. You know what I mean?
Right.
So kind of like if Paul George don't take that step, I can see them falling to like a 5-6.
Yeah, they could. But PG's been listening to Kobe in the workouts, so could be a different player.
I mean, like I said, it's the Lakers and everybody else. We gave our predictions. It's on record, but that could change. Like, I just don't see the Lakers not being one, but everybody else I can see like shuffling.
Yeah, I think
it's gonna be a complete shuffle.
I think the question is just like who the East is more up in the air, and then who the Lakers gonna meet in the Western Conference Finals is up in the air. I think those are the 2 biggest questions because we already know the East. People expect it to be the Brooklyn because they got 2 of the best players in the conference. Yeah. So, but just don't know, man. Just don't know.
The same thing. I think the Bucks are gonna drop crazy too. I think they're gonna start slow on the gate. I think it's gonna be different. And mind you, you have with Holiday, Middleton, and Giannis. That's a good 3. Mm-hmm. But I still think the East has figured them out and has caught up to them. I think you'll see the Bucks again fall. I had them like 4 or 5 in mind. I can see them falling, and Giannis, you can hear the chatter, the murmur, what you doing, what you thinking, are you going to be signed? Because once, I think the 21st is the deadline to sign. He's not signing it.
Yeah, I don't see it signing it.
You know what I mean? So I think if you get a slow start, that Tom's going to pick up, and I think it's distracted too. I think
I had Milwaukee at 3. So I think that the Nets and Boston are better. Now that Milwaukee could surprise me and be number one, I don't know. But I know in the playoffs they're gonna get beat. So
That's the thing. You don't even trust them, regardless.
Yeah, I know in the playoffs they're gonna get beat. So I mean, hey, well, it doesn't matter if you got number one seed if you getting beat in the second round.
Yeah,
like, that doesn't matter at that point. It's like, oh, okay, we got number one seed, but we can't even make it to the conference finals. So
Coach Bud special, one seed out.
I know Atlanta when they was talking all that hot garbage because they was number one seed and LeBron they met LeBron in the playoffs and it was like, okay, yeah.
Nobody thought they were coming up the East. Nobody thought that.
That's what LeBron dropped.
Kyrie,
yeah, he dropped his famous line. I don't care what seed we are. Like, you know what I mean?
They got swept, right?
Yeah,
they got swept. Yeah. They won all those games. They won like 65 games or something like that. They won all those games.
Yeah, Kyle Korver was an all-star that year. Craziness.
Wild.
Crazy. I mean, T was balling. Like, T was hooping.
Yeah, that's
like T was hooping. Like,
yeah, they were. Wasn't that the Atlanta team that went on like 29 game win streak or something
like that?
Yeah, it was crazy.
Crazy that year.
Yeah, it was crazy. But I really appreciate you guys for coming on with me tonight. We got to finish the division previews, and we looked at both divisions. We looked at conferences and things like that. So we got footage. Now this is probably going to change because I think COVID and injuries and everything that plays into it. It might change. It might not change. But we got footage. We'll always come back on here. We'll talk NBA basketball, of course. I really, really appreciate you guys. We got it at almost 2 hours, but we're going to end before NFL ends so they can get on and do their stream. We're going to go ahead and let Caleb, you go ahead and do your thing and plug everything in. And Caleb, CJ, Nick, and then Jerome, and then we'll close it out.
Cool. Yeah, it was dope. Appreciate y'all tonight. Look forward to it. You catch me on Twitter at Caleb Cornet 2, right down here. Catch me on Instagram at Caleb Cornet 1. Again, MCS Real Sports Podcast, Jules and Jim's podcast with me and my dad. And you can catch me on Unwrapped.
Thanks you guys for having me again. Catch me at the Guard Up Pod on Instagram, Guard Up Podcast, streaming on all platforms. Catch me on Twitter, CJ_James9.
Okay, Nick.
As y'all know, follow me. My Twitter handle right there. Follow me at McDormans. I love that.
Why are you laughing, CJ?
Nah, I'm just.
Is everything okay, guys? Fellas?
Yeah, everything's good.
All right. Jerome, you just a giggle box.
CJ laughing. CJ makes me laugh. Yeah, that's a joke. It's been a pleasure always with you guys.
Nah, Nick wasn't done, bro.
Oh, my bad. Amber, why you do that?
I'm sorry, Nick. Well, I'm sorry, Nick. Sorry, Jerome. Sorry, CJ. Sorry, Nick. Go ahead, Nick. I'm sorry.
Yeah, follow me. My Twitter handle right there at _Nick Dorvis. Follow my two podcasts, the Butter and Podcast. Follow us at ATR Pod. Follow my college basketball podcast called Creative Madness at ATR Madness. But yeah, man, I'm busy.
Okay, Jerome. Now you can go, Jerome.
All right. You guys are always really nice. I love you guys. Follow me, JKB Sports Pod with a Z. And that's the Twitter. Instagram is JKB Sports. I'll be doing lives, IG lives sometimes after post games and things like that. So if you guys want to jump on, feel free to follow me, message me. We'll always chop it up. Appreciate it. Good conversation's always the best, you know.
All right, you can follow me at Twitter at simplyme_AV. It's right there on the screen. And before I close the stream out, we got to pay bills again. So teespring.com/store/unwrapped. Get you some unwrapped gear. We got a lot of gear on there. Guys, go cop you some merch. You like to gamble, make some money for the holidays. mybookie.ag. Use the code USN100 to double your first deposit. Sore achy muscles, rxhemp.com. Use the code RXHemp/USN and get 10% off of your order. Now, if you follow me on Twitter, I have a lot of plugins. So you just click on everything in my bio and it directs you to where you need to go because I have a lot of plugins. So, guys, that is it for the preview. We had 3 nights of this. I really appreciate these guys for staying on late with me. You can follow us at Unwrapped Sports and at Hoops USN. We have a lot of content coming, a lot of great content coming. You'll see these guys again, of course, maybe a couple of times a week because the NBA plays so often. I really appreciate your support, and we will see you later.
Doses.